because I apparently don't whisper all that loudly. So you can either turn it down and not be able to hear me at all, or you can have to put up with my keyboard, which is kind of loud, and B, the fan, which stops this somewhat obnoxious computer from overheating. Because when if you turn the fan off, which I think you can do using some of the Acesware or whatever, there's probably other utilities that let you do it too, but I actually have that. If you turn the fan off, it overheats really quickly. Or it gets very hot very quickly, rather, I guess. I don't know. So it can be a problem if you do that. So the second thing, or the first thing, I guess, again, is I need to get some wood. I like to generally get a single stack of logs, because more is kind of stupid. But, I don't know. It's the most you can carry without wasting spots. That might be more important of other things. I got lucky this time. There's pigs around. I'm in hills. That's not necessarily lucky. It's nice to be around the desert or the plains because you can trade with villagers to get things you don't have. They will often be willing to trade for you, to trade for your wheat, or maybe sheep, what do you call it, wool? There's a half-generated mountain over there that's kind of odd. I don't want to get any closer. Oh, never mind, it's generating it now, okay. Occasionally there will be spots that haven't generated really, really close, and that's kind of odd because I can't tell where I can walk, and occasionally I'll fall into things like this because I can't see where the ground is. It's very odd. There's a little bit of sugar cane here, that's good. Obviously there weren't any cows. That would probably be the luckiest thing I could start out with, would be cows. Because at some point I'm going to need to make an enchanting table. And cows are actually kind of the limiting factor most of the time. But once you find not the enchanting table, for the bookshelves, obsidian obviously isn't all that hard to get, and diamonds, it's not hard to get 2 diamonds, which I think is what you need is 2. But it may be very difficult to find leather at all, and I believe you need, I guess 46 leather to be able to make a good enchanted weapon. All you really need is an enchanted bow, though, to fight the Ender Dragon. The Ender Dragon, there's really no point in fighting him with a sword, especially because he's so easy to fight, as long as you have a good bow that can do a lot of damage. After the bow, I would probably start enchanting armor if I had any diamonds, or if I had enough diamonds for that. I'm about to starve to death. I don't want to eat this raw, though. I may need to stop and cook it, some of it. I don't have enough stone to cook it right now. I'll stop and do that now because I don't want to starve to death. So let's do that. Okay, and I guess I can use this as an opportunity to kind of use up the sticks and wood that sometimes can block up your inventory. You don't want that. know if you can see my mouse. I don't know if I have it turned on. I don't know if it saves that setting. I probably should have tried to make charcoal instead of just burning this, but it'll be okay. It looks like there's trees up at the top, so I'm gonna go cut wood while that cooks. Oh, maybe there's not. Never mind. Never mind, there's no trees up here. I really don't like extreme hills or mountains or whatever you want to call them. I may stop to mine here because there's a chance of getting emeralds, but emeralds tend not to be all that useful, especially because I'll probably only find one or two. I need to get more wood before I go to mine, because I may be trapped down there for a while. I may not find any coal. Plenty of things can happen, and it's nice to have a couple trees worth of wood. There's also some sheep over there which I can use to get a bed, which I'm going to need to do if I'm exploring the overworld for too long, because I don't have any iron yet, and I don't want to risk getting killed by, you know, creepers or something. Plenty of deadly stuff. So that's enough to make a bed, I think, now. Yeah, I have enough white, and I also have some brown. I don't actually need the brown. It's not good for anything, really, except for your house. It's very easy to place and dig up. And unlike, oh crap, and unlike sand, it can be, it can hold its position. Sand is probably the other easiest thing to use, but it doesn't hold its position, and, you know, yeah, so that's not necessarily good. Especially if you want to make floating structures. Sandstone and, I guess, technically netherrack are also easy, but you just don't build your house out of netherrack. That would be kind of foolish, I think. Or maybe you could have a house that was on fire. I guess that wouldn't be that that'd be pretty interesting. That tree is not worth chopping down. There's another pig, though. Let's go get the pig. Okay, so I don't want to be walking in circles, but I don't know. If I walk towards trees, I guess that'll stop me from walking in circles. I would like to head towards what might be plains over there. I don't want to go into the ocean. There's no guarantee that I'll find anything. And the only thing that I would really be interested in finding in the ocean would be a mushroom biome. But that's hardly in the spirit of hardcore. The mushroom biome is not really hardcore at all. I would have to go back as soon as I wanted to start. It's really more for agriculture, because you can breed the mushrooms, I guess, and all of that nonsense. But the sun is going down. Oh crap! It's raining too. I should make a bed before the spiders come out. Can I not use brown wool for this? Do they have to be the same color, maybe? Oh, wait. I know what it is. I'm using too many of those. Alright. I hope I don't get attacked. Alright, there we go. It takes an awful long time for the rain to toggle off. It's kind of odd. I have not found any saplings yet. That's also kind of odd. I don't usually plant them, but it's nice to be able to. They're usually one of the first things that I drop. It's also nice. Sometimes you can find apples, which you can gild them for healing items. I think that the gilded ones also provide extra food. I'm not really certain about that. I know gilded there's nothing you can really do about it. So you just have to keep walking around until you can get down. So I don't know, I'm gonna look for, I actually don't know, I guess I'm looking for cows. I should probably begin digging. This is as good a place as any to start. And there's a chance of finding emeralds, which is nice. Crap. I can't dig this out. Because he jumps at the top of the water. There we go, okay. I'm gonna climb up here and see what's up here. There's more sheep. I probably shouldn't bother. No, I'm not gonna bother. I don't need their wool, and the sheep are just kind of useless to me. I am in hardcore, right? Yeah, okay. I had forgotten. I wasn't sure anymore. Sometimes I forget things really easily. I really hate the floating mountains. You can't ever get to them. The other thing that doesn't have much use, in my opinion, is pumpkins. I guess I'm gonna take them because you can make pumpkin pie and jack-o'-lanterns. Those might come in handy, I don't know. They may. They're kind of rare, so there's no point not taking them because I have inventory spots right now. Worst case scenario, I can make them all into jack-o'-lanterns. They're also a pretty easy agricultural product, but they're not actually good for anything because it's kind of harder than it's worth to make pumpkin pie. And then you have to grow the eggs and the wheat too. But I don't know, I mean, the fact that you have to use eggs, kind of makes it useless because I'm just not going to be raising chickens. I probably won't be doing agriculture either, but if I make an underground base or an above ground base at any point, I guess I will try. If I still have them, I'll plant them. I need to kill all the cows that I can find while I'm here because they are something that I'm not necessarily going to be able to find later. But they are rather necessary because you just can't beat the game easily without enchanting. Ow. The bow doesn't really do all of that much damage. Or it does, it really does. But the Ender Dragon has a lot of health. So you have to do a lot of damage. And if you don't have an enchanted bow, that can just be very, very difficult. It can also be used to get very good picks. If you don't know. I need to climb up to where those cows are. This is why this biome is annoying. There's cows up there and I can hear them mooing. But I'm gonna have to climb around to get to it because I've got all of this crap in the way. I don't have a shovel either. I could probably stop to make one now. I have enough wood to make one. That's what I was out of the first time, was wood. I didn't have any wood. And I will have to stop and make it. No, stupid cow. Stupid heifer. Okay, let's climb back up. There's more cows. I need to gather all the leather I can. It's just very nice to be able to have bookshelves. Books are also one of the things that can be traded. They can be traded for a lot of emeralds sometimes. Make a shovel and another sword. Yeah, I ran out of a sword. Okay, let's make another shovel also. Or rather, make a shovel at all. I didn't have one earlier. Let's make one now. Okay. Come back here. Okay. So there's more cows down there. There's a rather large waterfall, and there's that sort of whisper much louder. That way, when you turn it down, you won't be able to hear the hum of the fan. Or my keys. Somebody said, or the only person who's watched it so far has said that they actually found the fan to be quite relaxing after a little while. It's kind of a white noise thing. I know radio static can be very relaxing if you can get into it. It's very interesting while you're meditating if you do that, because you can concentrate on the static and it just does, you don't think about anything. It's kind of a way to think about nothing. Instead of not thinking about anything, to think about nothing. Because it has no meaning and you can't really pick up on any of it. It's kind of like very fast songs where you can't remember what you were listening to. Which, you know, I don't know how all of you feel about that kind of music. But that can also be relaxing because it can prevent you from being able to think very easily. Just because you have to ignore it. You can't actually think about it. And if you can't ignore it, you can't really think about much at all. Because you can't really pick up on it. I don't know that I necessarily like music like that, because I like music where I can hear the singer, and I like music that has a tune, and some music just does not have any sort of a tune at all, like Dragon Force. I can't really hum it. I can't even really remember how it goes, because it's going so fast. There's a lot of cows. That's the thing about this, though. You end up with a lot of leather. You really only have to find cows once. It's not like diamonds or emeralds where you... but they're also rarer. You can't necessarily find them in every biome. And they aren't going to be in every biome, even if they can be found in those biomes. Whereas diamonds and emeralds will always... well, emeralds are very, very rare. But diamonds will be in every biome, even the ocean. And you will generally always find them if you dig enough. So, I don't know. If there are cows, it's easy to find them. When you're on the surface, you can see them. They can't actually hide from you unless they're behind a mountain. And, you know, mountains are only so big. You can always go look on the other side. And generally will if you're, I don't know, if you're me, I guess. Usually I like to climb on top of mountains because you can see a lot, generally, on the other sides of them. Although here, all you can see is more mountains, which isn't necessarily helpful. Ow! Oh, jeez. I don't know if you guys get into games quite as much as I do. I'm the sort of person who says ow when my character gets hurt. It means I can enjoy really immersive games a lot. But it also means that on games like The Sims, I sometimes fail to have different people, because they're always just sort of extensions of me. Because again, I get really into them. But they're less extensions of me. Well, they are. But obviously, they tend to be more successful because they can ignore the urge to, you know, like play Minecraft. I'm not obviously getting much done. I mean, technically, I can get a lot done doing Minecraft. I can play around with computers, which, as I said in my other video, I don't know if you guys have seen it. I don't know if you will. I'm a computer science, not a computer science, I'm a computer engineering major. So, I actually didn't have to go mine that. I had enough to make an axe. That's what I was trying to make. I thought I needed 4 for some reason. Actually, none of the tools need 4, so I don't know why I did that at all. Okay. There's more cows over here. Oh yeah, so I'm a computer science major. Computer per se, I guess. I don't know. What Discrete has is it uses a lot of proofs and formal logic is what the class is about. Jeez, man, this is pretty big. When I get ready to mine in a minute, I'm going to have to stop, and I'm gonna have to look on the internet because I don't remember where emeralds are. I believe they're between layers like 32 and 10, maybe. I think that's where you would also mine for iron, if I'm not mistaken. Extreme Hills is really weird. The lighting gets messed up in this biome a lot. And because I have because I have large biomes on, you end up wandering around. Jungles are very, very annoying in large biomes because they're just really hard to traverse. Sometimes they go on just forever and ever, and it gets ridiculous after a little while. I may mine some of this above ground coal as well, so that I can cook my food. Actually, I'll probably start mining when I run out of food. Or maybe at the edge of this, I don't know. I don't know when I'm going to mine. I know I need to at some point because there's just only so much I can do above ground. Actually, that's true all the time. And Extreme Hills doesn't have a lot above ground. In fact, it has rather a lot more underground than most biomes. The place of the most surface technically is the ocean. The ocean is also very boring. Unless you have potions of night vision, in which case the ocean is very, very weird. It's just really, really weird. Because the water is very clear all of a sudden. It doesn't really stop. It looks the way it would if the water didn't block the light at all. Which obviously we know that it does. So it looks very, very odd. It's unnatural. But then really all of Minecraft is unnatural. I really hate the ambient noises. It's nice to know that there are things around. I don't think I want to mine in this area, although I might check to make sure it's not a stronghold. If it is a stronghold, this would be a very good place to stop. Except, it can't be a stronghold. I'm really far too close. You have to be a couple hundred away. I guess it could be the edge of one, but I doubt it. I don't know if I want to start mining from as high or as low a position as I can. Or just, whoa, look at that. There's a lava falls. I may go over there. It can be helpful once you found iron to start using buckets of lava. To make a bucket and start using buckets of lava instead of coal. But generally we'll also have enough coal that it does not matter. I'll just have to see what happens. I don't know how much leather I've gathered. My sword just broke again. I may start using my axe because I'm just kind of lazy about making new stuff. I'm just gonna kill these couple here, these 4, and then go over there where the lava falls is. I think I've been whispering rather quietly. Again, it's kind of odd. I'm not actually used to whispering, and I know for a fact that I'm a very loud person. It got me in trouble a lot as a child, because I was really kind of unable to whisper if I wasn't kind of concentrating on it. So, in a conversation, usually, although I'm kind of odd, I'm able to hold a conversation with you guys because I usually do this anyway. find you guys to talk to you, I can just talk to you here. You guys are probably people similar to myself. I think anybody who plays Minecraft is going to be a very similar, I don't know, this personality, I guess, I don't know. This is probably only one block of lava, which means it won't actually be all that useful. I don't know how many blocks of lava this is. This is really odd. I don't know why it does this. It shouldn't spawn, or I guess, yeah, this is lava. Usually it's magma. I guess this is probably lava, though. It's kind of odd to have a lava falls. That's not something that would usually happen unless, I suppose, there was like a volcano. I don't know if this game has volcanoes. No, I don't think it does. I guess I can make one. I might do that the next time I'm on survival. Make a volcano. I could have my house inside the volcano. That would be kind of unnecessarily stupid. Or not stupid, but just like time consuming. That's a lot of magma. You have to go gather, or lava maybe, I don't know. And just kind of odd. But Minecraft is all about obnoxious projects, isn't it? Like sometimes I like to make I like to make rooms. I guess I could make an entire house, but I like to make rooms out of redstone blocks. Now that they've added them, I don't know if you guys play with snapshots or not. Whoa. I don't know that I like these biomes. They can be kind of ridiculous sometimes. But again, they're the only places you can find it. Oh, jeez. They're the only... Actually, that probably... Oh, yeah, that would have killed me. Look at that. That's really tall over there. And it's hollow. Or else it just hasn't generated the entire thing. It's kind of like a valley. Occasionally the Minecraft will generate ravines above ground. And that's very interesting. You don't want to fall in them. And sometimes the ravines will reveal mines. So you have mines that are technically above ground as well. Which is it's always kind of odd. Oh Lord. I don't know why this place generates them so oddly. I guess the way that caves and cliffs are generated probably are not exclusive of each other for starters. Yeah, I guess caves are generated around large deposits of stone, maybe. I don't know. I wonder how the world generates these things. That's something I would actually be very interested in learning about. I actually supported a game on Kickstarter, which is a very cool website you guys should try, called Sir But I think, oh, never mind, let's go look at an emerald. It says you should probably try layer 20, but it does not matter that much because if you look at the chart, emeralds are pretty consistent. At 4, it drops off. Actually, oh, never mind. This is a logarithmic scale. So, there's, oh wait, never mind. What is this green thing? Oh, okay. Okay, this green stuff is wood. There's a lot of wood around ground level. Or around, and it keeps going on a little bit higher. Then, never mind, that's coal. It seems like it usually has dirt as well in this chart. Maybe not, though. 4 is the top bedrock layer. Okay. Is there anything found below 4 except stone? Stone can be found all the way down. Oh, dirt is not on this chart, but it's on here. Okay. So it says emeralds are in here, but the chart is logarithmic, so it looks like I'm not going to want to go below. I guess this is 7, 6. Around 6 is probably the lowest I want to go. But you can go all the way up to layer 29. Since I can see it one above me, I'm going to want to start with my head at layer 28. I'm going to do that now. So I'm going to check my altitude. I don't know how you guys feel about checking your altitude this way and whatnot. And you can use it to find north direction, rather. I don't know how you guys feel about that. Some of you might feel that it's cheating. But the fact that I'm in hardcore with cheats off and it still lets me do it means it can't be that bad. Although I guess you can technically do... Whoa, here we go. I think this is an above ground ravine. I may use this to prevent myself from having to do too much work digging down. It's got a current in it though. I don't know if I want to get stuck in a current. But let's try this. Okay. This put me all the way down to 47. I only have to dig a little ways. This might be somewhat dangerous. It may lead to a cave of some kind, which there's really no reason for me to explore. I guess it's a good way to find mushrooms, which can mean food underground. And as well, it can mean that there's enough space that I could grow giant mushrooms down here just by covering it up. I don't know if I want to use up my wood I do, I can always break the cave off the other direction. Fortunately, with the exception of Enderman, I don't think any creatures can technically, like, chase you. Oh. I don't know if you guys saw that. I don't know how you feel about this either. I'm torrenting Adventure Time. So I don't know how you guys feel about Adventure Time. I don't know how you feel about torrenting. But I am, for what it's worth. I don't know. I don't know how you guys feel about that. This video may end up getting very long. In fact, I'm going to check the length now. So you may see the game jump a little bit. I don't know. I'm going to do that. Okay. I've been recording for 40 minutes. I don't know. I don't really want to play this, guys, when you guys aren't watching because I don't want you to miss anything if you are watching it. I don't know how much interest you would take in this if you were watching it, but I imagine you would want to see the progress as well. You know, I don't know, anything cool could happen, and I don't want you guys to miss it. I also don't want the movie to be too long. I may stop soon. I do technically have work to be doing. I'm kind of slacking off. I shouldn't be playing this right now, but I am. Yeah, I don't know. If I fail out of school, I guess I might have to get a job, and then I might not have time. Except Minecraft isn't necessarily that much of a time sucker. So, I mean, I would actually technically probably have more time if I dropped out, but that's just, I'm not going to do that. It'll be devastating to me if my GPA drops a lot because I started playing Minecraft. Which is kind of ironic because Minecraft is a nerd game. Which means usually people who play Minecraft should have higher GPAs. But not because we're responsible people, but because, you know, I don't know, we're just the awkward sort. The type who find a game where you have to think to be more entertaining. Not that you have to think too much in Minecraft, but I mean, you know, I don't know. It's actually not all that much of a strategy game. I don't know how it gets the reputation of being a nerd game, to be honest. Or maybe it doesn't. Maybe that's just how I feel about it. But if so, I don't know why I feel that way. I feel that way largely because the people I see playing it. But you really don't necessarily have to think too much for this game. Yes, it's just the sort of game that isn't necessarily for casual gamers. It's just a casual game that gamers, real gamers can play. That real gamers enjoy it, but it's still casual. Or, I don't know, I don't want to offend you guys. I think it's pretty casual. I mean, sometimes it can be difficult, you know, but the game really is not that hard. Even, like, the end game is actually not even as hard as getting to it. Getting to the end game is rather more difficult than the end game itself. Because the Ender Dragon, I'm not gonna lie, was kind of pathetic. His AI, oh shit, I went down too far. I think I was looking at my Z earlier, not my Y. I think I lost my there we go. Okay. So, I went down too low. I guess I'm gonna break off behind me and dig back up. I want to go to layer 29 and start mining. I can't see anything. I guess you guys can't either. I have enough iron to make a pick, though. That's good. I'm gonna go up to layer 29. Hopefully nothing spawns behind me because I'm not bothering to replace the things. I guess I could start at layer 4 and dig upwards. I think I may simply go to layer 20 and dig around. Digging upwards isn't necessarily worth it. I don't know how much you guys know about mining techniques, but you have to mine emeralds a little bit differently because emeralds are never found in large veins. is smelting. I think I'm gonna go check. I can't make my pick yet. Yeah, let's look at emerald ore. Let's just, yeah, let's see what it says about emerald ore mining, about mining emerald ore. It says it's not generated in veins. It's always encountered as a single block, and it tends to be scattered. It says it only attempts to put 3 to 8 of them in each chunk. It will generate anywhere there otherwise might have been stone. It can actually be encountered more commonly than gold. That's odd. Okay, well, oh, actually, I guess a chunk isn't that big, is it? How big is a chunk? Do you guys know? I don't know. Let's see if it says anything about emerald mining. It does not appear to have any. I'll open up the tutorials and see. But anyway, I don't know how big a chunk is, but I guess I shouldn't look for more than 8. If I find 8, I shouldn't go any further. Oh, okay. Okay, so they're 16 by 16. So I should probably look in the entire area. Alright, I guess they're not very big. I'm going to find the edges of chunks and look around, and then, yeah, I'm gonna try mining emeralds. Okay, so, yeah, alright. Okay, so let's do that. My C is here. I think just because I'm going to start I'm going to go to a new chunk. I don't want to be mining in the same chunk that I was digging down in. So I'm going to go mine a little bit to the west and look at that chunk. looks like I need to have torches about halfway down the tunnels as well in order for them to be well lit. At least well enough that I can see things. Hopefully well enough to stop spawns as well. But if they do spawn, I guess that's not that bad. I mean, I don't know. It shouldn't be that bad. This is actually the next tunnel. That's why you want to dig out with spacing of 6, because you don't necessarily want to have your tunnels be this close together, because you end up with things like this where you're digging out the same area. That's area that I could have been looking at. I could have made sure that that area didn't have anything. If I was looking for diamonds or iron or something, but because I'm not, I think when I hit the end of this tunnel, I'm going to dig all the way out so that I will not have to count as much. I won't have to look at the thing to make sure that I'm not digging too far. It will also allow me to have slightly better lighting. So this is the breadth of, well no it's not. It's going to be, but it's not yet. The breadth of the tunnel. I think I'm using that word right. I don't know, I don't really use breadth very often. And it's going to go all the way to 16. And so there's going to be a square set of tunnels. As you can see, there is gravel. Oops. I don't know why I actually said that. There is gravel. I just don't know why I would tell you that you can see it. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oops. Oh, wait. Oh, 16 is inside that wall. Okay. I don't actually have to mine that. Never mind. Okay, so this is fine. So I'm going to dig out here. It says this was the ideal layer to look for emeralds, but I haven't found any yet. I'm going to, I guess, go back here to the front sort of area. I guess it's not technically the front. And I'm going to set up a smelter. I need to make food. I need to cook this. And I'm going to set up my crafting table because I need a new pick, obviously. My old one died. Okay. Emeralds is probably one of the more boring things to mine. You don't get enough of them ever for you to be like, oh, that's enough, I should go up. Because, you know, they're good for everything. And you just don't find that many of them. Diamonds are very useful, but you really don't need that many. I guess you don't really need any emeralds at all. I mean, they're not even useful unless you're going to be finding NPC villages. I don't know if I can make myself mine out every one of these layers in this chunk to look for emeralds. Especially because apparently I've checked really all of the squares, and this is the best place to look for them apparently. I don't know how they arrived at those numbers. it's not necessarily the best way to mine from your house because you will end up very far away from it. And if you have to come up, you may end up having to walk a very long distance. So I'm going to start here. This is going to be where my home base sort of area will be. Redstone is very slightly easier to justify than some things. It's not that useful, but it has its uses in potions, which obviously means it can be very useful. It just isn't always useful. So now that I've set up my little base, I'm going to dig outwards from here. So you start here, and you dig tunnels. You just dig tunnels off to the side, it's also a lot more pointed. My entire body is kind of tingling. It feels like I'm blushing, but it's not in my face, it's everywhere else. And it just feels like oh, I heard a skeleton. Yeah, and there's water, and I heard a thingamajig walking around. A spider and water. I heard ambience. That means I'm very close to something. I don't necessarily want to be in something, especially if it's a mine. Mines are very dangerous. There's gold. Look at that. I also like to take gold. I can't always justify gold, but it is good for potions, and it is good for food occasionally. If you have just way too much of it, you can make a block of gold enchanted apples, which is kind of ridiculously wasteful. But, I mean, you know, if you have a lot of gold, it is what it is. It's a very good healing item, or I don't know how good it is. I know that an enchanted apple can be eaten relatively quickly. It's stacks, which is nice. You do have to find a lot of apples for them, but unlike potions of healing, they stack. They give you regeneration. They give you regeneration, so I guess they're really more like potions of regeneration than potions of healing. They let you regenerate about 3 hearts in about, I guess, 3 seconds. I don't know how long it takes. They don't heal you a lot, and it's not instant, but it's very helpful. It can occasionally be a lifesaver, as can all healing type items, though. You know, that's what their purpose is to save lives. Or life. I don't know. Healing potions save lives, man. Alright, so I finished this tunnel. I'm gonna come back here. I will actually show you what I was talking about with the mine. What you do is you put six spaces in between your tunnels. So this is 4. I'm going to mine 5, 6, and this is this right here, number 7. So you can mine out sort of a plus sign shaped thing, and then you can put a torch there, and it lights it up a little bit. Okay, so I guess I will